quite what to do. Remember, it's not enough to know. You have to have something in your back, some battery in your back that's pushing you to the degree that not only will you achieve the goal, but you'll exceed the goal as well. So take a look at this, do the homework, check back with us. This was my favorite slide above all yesterday. Remember that you are the architect of your future. You are the most important, prevalent prophet in your life. The things that you speak over your life are power. And so when you begin to go into what you have been taught, you're able to implement them with so much ease and confidence, as we mentioned before, because yesterday you did not only learn a new idea, you learned a concept to lay a foundation, to reinforce the ones that you already have. Understanding that every action that you take, it's another beam in the structure of your prosperity, of your success, and no one is responsible for your success but you, right? The blueprints is in your hand, so let's build. So just as an overview, the core components will always remain the same. First, your mindset needs to be intact. We covered that yesterday. And understand that this is a daily task. You have to work on your mindset, your structure, your system, whether it's a belief system, professionally, personally. It has to be something that grounds you, something that you can always run to as a refuge, right? The next thing is your plan. You need a system and you need a blueprint. And the difference between the two is one is something that is working all the time in the background, which is your system. And the blueprint is just the fundamental understanding of where everything goes, how everything moves. You need to have these intact. And then finally, you want to have accountability and you want to have feedback as well. And that is what contributes to growth, right? You need to always remember that prosperity should be the result of everything you touch, everything you do. It's a touch point in every aspect of your life. So you have to cultivate that which you know. And a lot of times the way to do that is to teach what you know to those that don't. And then you want to be abundant in your giving. Don't be stingy. Don't be touchy-feely with it as well. You want to always be in a position where you are seen as one that is very thorough with what you're doing, and you're very serious about what you're doing as well. And so remember that abundance and gratitude and action, these are the currencies that it's going to take for you to move even more than money. I said it, even more than money, because you can have the money and not have the growth, right? Bloated doesn't mean growth. We'll talk about that later. So again, so we can loop this back into what we're talking about, that what you learned yesterday is that mindset is architecture. It is a construct. It's something that needs to be maintained every day. And the things that we taught you yesterday, remember I told you, some things can't be taught, they have to be caught. And that's the reason why you go over this with rote memory. You do the homework, you review the homework so that you understand and things begin to come to you and things are revealed to you about what you can actually manage to get done and those things that you'll probably have to outsource and get some help and assistance with anyway. But what you need to know is that things were revealed to you that you did not know, right? And once you not only know those things and experience those things, understand that that belongs to you and no one can take it away from you. That belongs to you. And when you implement them to the nth degree, to the best of your ability, showing up at the highest level, it not only belongs to you, but it belongs to your loved ones and it belongs to those whom you've been given charge over, whether you are a consultant, a group lead, or you have been called to get folks to come into your business and actually help you to move forward. All right, so today we're going to cover the importance of a scalable business system. We'll walk you through a basic 2-tier funnel, and then we're going to give you the first steps in automation. And the reason why we are focusing and honing in on the two-tier funnel is because that is the easiest and the quickest for you to deploy without excuse. Every one of us are able to do this like we know the back of our hand. Your immediate task for you to take action today is to identify and to create a simple element of your system today, like a graphic for your very first product that goes along with your offer. Even if you're in a service-based business, this is what I wish I knew when I first started as an entrepreneur. You always should have an offer that is tethered to that service, whether it's an explanation by way of a check sheet, a checklist rather, a task list, a report, a white paper, whatever your heart's desire, and it makes it so easy for your audience to follow you with. That's something that you want to attach to what you know. All right, listen, it's up to you. You need to have this workbook through this journey. We've created this special workbook, so it's an optional companion that can provide you with the support that you need to move forward with not only absorbing the information that you've been given, but actually putting it into action. You're going to get practical hands-on resources. It's a system in your own handwriting as you rewrite how you're going to move forward with your offers. And then it's going to make it that much easier for you to actually get the work done immediately, if not sooner. So go ahead and click that link in the bio or in the description. Station identification. We are on YouTube. Hit that comment, like, share, and subscribe if you will. So here's the blueprint for your business system, one that works for you and not just because of you. So as an architect, one who is a builder, a creator, an entrepreneur, people who are willing to take financial risks for what they're trying to build and put out into the world, you recognize that there is a dilemma, and that is this foundation of time, which we all are subject to in some way, shape, or form. We find ourselves pummeling through or really trying to create a balance act between income and impact and time and effort. The problem with this model is that it's limited in its nature. And so as a freelancer, your default business model is often direct time for money exchange. And in the beginning, it's absolutely essential and it's effective. But we have to understand that we are not creators of time. We are called to be managers of time. If you think about the great King Solomon, he asked for management skills. How do I manage these people that you have given me? So this is the same hard thought process of an entrepreneur. You must be able to manage your time effectively. And once you know how to manage it, then you batten up the hatches and you begin to learn how to optimize and monetize that time as well, wherein you're making money, whether you're working for it or not. Because if you're not working, you absolutely must have a system in the background that's doing it for you. And that's what these classes are all about. So I want you to keep in mind the mindset that we talked about yesterday, the framework with which you see things. And that's why it's important we're talking about vision right now, because the model that you're building, right, the anti-time for money ceiling thing, we are going to build a structure that is designed for growth. That's the objective. Remember, I told you, if we have a strategy, we need to know what the objective is. Our objective is growth from the start. The solution is to move from being a craftsperson into an architect. Architects build to scale these monstrosities, these huge, what they call edifices. It's not just on the outside, it's on the inside. It's not just on the inside, it's on the ground. It's not just on the ground, it's beneath the ground. That's where the foundation is. So we have to build both upward, vertically, and then across as well for growth. And that's where building this system comes in. That's going to free up your time, free up your resources, and it's going to allow you to have the so-called luxury of being able to build even more on the creative end rather than solely on the business end, which quite frankly can be exhausting. Now, I want you to know, just because you're building for growth does not mean it has to be ugly, it has to be clunky, or it has to be time consuming. So we're looking at this Ricard Miel, and we're understanding that this is a work of engineering genius, and it's coupled together with something that's very practical. I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I absolutely will. This is the Rafael Nadal edition of this meow, right? And this was built for a tennis player who was told to wear a watch while he was playing the game. The problem that he was having with the watches that he had was that they were too heavy. And so, having taken that into mind, the good folks over at Meow, they decided that they were going to create something solely for Mr. Nadal, because they wanted to take in mind or keep in mind that this was a very real thing. And if he's experiencing this, then perhaps there are other athletes that are out there that feel the same way, and they could absolutely afford to get one of these watches, which is lowballing about $1.7 million. So I'm telling you, it's not just what you know, it's how you apply what you know and the delivery system that matters. So here's to laying the foundation, utilizing the core principles of a scalable system built for success. So here are the 3 pillars of a strong foundation. We discuss enabling long-term growth, moving beyond time for money, and building a system that works for you, not just because of you, right? And the way that you deploy all 3 of these is by simply having them top of mind as you're building out your system, whether it's a 2-tier or multi-tiered situation. You always want to keep these pillars top of mind. So let's deconstruct this 2-tier funnel. And we're using this 2-tier funnel because it is the path of least resistance. It's the easiest to do, to replicate and do over and over and over. And what's most important is that you get to know people who are very serious about moving their business forward, whether it's with you or with the products offering that you have or not. So tier number 1 is the entryway, the first touch point or access to your business. They may be attracted by a post that you put up, an ad that you sponsored, or even something you may have said, on camera, and, somebody put it all over, the local news. This is the way that you are pulling in potential clients with a low barrier, high value offer, right? An example would be a free video, okay? And then you would nurture them. And how would you nurture them? You would give them an instruction, whether it's to click a link, to find out more, to just claim the special offer. That is what you're doing by giving them a call to action that they can, it's very simple for them to do. And then the second tier is where they're going to wind up on the other side of having taken action. And that is the core offering. This is where your lookers and your seers and tire kickers become converted. They become converted, right? So this is a way that you are nurturing and converting interested leads into paying customers. Now, usually because you've done such a stellar job at announcing who you were on the other side of that click, then all you have to do is follow through with the same messaging, the cadence, the look, the feel of that page, and an immediate section where they can purchase from you quickly. An example of that would be your workbook or some sort of representation of what you talked about initially. And that is it. This way, you're not collecting opt-in information of people who are not purchasing from you. They're just strictly for those who are willing to pull the trigger and get exactly what it is that they want from you, and they're willing to pay you for it. That is how you deconstruct and construct a 2-tier funnel. have a kick-ass offer, and on the other side of that, you talk about it to the extent that people would feel ridiculous not actually getting it in their hands. All right, so let's see this blueprint in action when it comes to a creator actually building a system like this. So you have this freelancer and they are toggling between a free offering and a paid offering. And I don't know about you, but if you've been with me longer than 5 minutes, you understand we stand for the and it's neither either or. It is always and. What do you give the woman who has everything? More. Come on with it. Let's go with the Mack truck. Let's go. So your free offer would probably be something along the lines of a high value mini book, right? It was created using a tool like Canva or standard industry software like Adobe. You can go so far with this and just throw in so much information so that when folks actually get it from you, they get a taste, a feel of what it is to work with you. Now, on the other side of that is you can do the same thing at the same level, but you turn it into a guide wherein you make it editable so that the folks who go in can actually get it, get their version of it, turn it into their own, customize it, revamp it, and sell it as their own or present it as their own in their business when they are trying to get business. So why would I have both these offers available? I would have them available at different times, probably on different platforms, as not to confuse the audience that you have on one platform. And we would see what bites, how we work, how we are to scale this, because when you're working with two is always better than one. And you'll get an opportunity to see the caliber, the real differences between those two audiences as well. Hope this helps. So going into section 3, this is a visual representation of what we talked about. The first level is attraction. The next level at the checkout is to deliver way beyond their expectations so they'll come back for more. So here it is. We're at the final frontier, people. This is automation. This is the engine of your system. This is the bells and whistles of the whole daggone operation. Now, do not make the mistake of believing that automation is the end all and be all. Remember what I told you. This takes maintenance. It takes upkeep. You have to pay attention to what's going on in your system. Now, a structure is useless without power. I'm going to tell you something right now. There's a difference between power and authority. You have to take authority over this thing that you build, because if you don't, it can go off the rails. That's the difference between people who are responsible, businesses that are responsible, and those that aren't. Only those who know how to master the tools of both AI and automation are going to be the ones that win in the end. Automation is only the engine that runs your funnel, but you are the overseer of it. Yes, we're on live TV, live from New York. It is what it is. So your automated workflow is a part of it. 24/7 operation, consistent output, consistent results for you to review and update as is necessary. Then your daily tasks, and then your data inflow. It's a circle, it's a cycle. Therefore, it is a system, and it needs to be maintained with the utmost integrity. But the reason why we put these things in place is so you can free up your time so that you can work on higher value activities such as client works, creating new products, and doing things with your crew, with your staff, with those who are on your team, so that they can become better, dare I say, masterful at the tasks that now they're freed up to do, because automation is taking the redundancy out of all of the other ancillary things, right? And above all, this creates a consistent and predictable